In today's headline, IATF restricts travel from 7 more countries due to Omicron. Less Pinoy families rate themselves poor. Pharmally execs transferred to Pasay jail today. CebuPac launches green fleet. Mandaue named among bike-friendly cities. Jaja's team on a roll. Germany announces first likely new COVID strain case. Good morning, I am Kim Sancha and you are watching Tribune News on Q today. Today is November 29 and here are the latest news this Monday morning. The Interagency Task Force or IATF on COVID-19 has expanded the temporary suspension of inbound flights from 7 more countries due to the threat of the Omicron virus variant. Austria, Czech Republic, Hungary, the Netherlands, Switzerland, Belgium, and Italy have been added to the red list from the 28th of November to the 15th of December. The IATF said that inbound international travel of all persons, regardless of vaccination status, coming from or who have been to red list countries, jurisdiction, territories with the last 14 days prior to arrival to any port of the Philippines shall not be allowed. Only Filipinos returning to the country via government-initiated or non-government-initiated repatriation and biennial flights may be allowed entry subject to the prevailing entry, testing, and quarantine protocols for red list countries, jurisdictions, and territories. On Saturday, the 27th of November, the IATF announced travel restrictions on South Africa, Botswana, Namibia, Zimbabwe, Lesotho, Eswatini, and Mozambique, also due to Omicron. Malacanang on Sunday welcomed the decrease in the number of Filipino families who considered themselves as poor, citing that the government's efforts to reopen the economy were proven effective. In a statement, acting presidential spokesperson Carlo Nograles acknowledged the results of the latest poll conducted by the Social Weather Stations, or SWS, that states that 45% of Filipino families are considering themselves poor in September. This is a slight improvement compared to the results of SWS in June, where 48% of the respondents have considered themselves as poor. Nograles said in a statement that the results of the survey, particularly the decrease of Filipino families rating themselves as mahirap, from 48% in June 2021 to 45% in September 2021, show that progress has been made in our efforts to reopen the economy and bounce back from the adverse economic impact of the COVID-19 pandemic. He attributed the decline in the number of Filipinos rating themselves as poor due to the increase in percentage of the country's vaccination coverage as well as to drop in daily COVID-19 infections. He also added that the government believes that the increase in percentage of the vaccinated population and the drop in new COVID infection put us in a position to safely expand economic activities that will positively impact employment and reduce poverty, he added. Nograles said that the country's economic team has estimated the placing Metro Manila, the center of trade and business in the Philippines, under alert level 2 with health and safety protocols still in place, will boost the economy by 3.6 billion pesos and employment by 16,000 per week. Meanwhile, the latest SWS survey conducted from the 12th to 16th of September showed that 34% of families rated themselves as borderline poor, while 21% said they were not poor. The results are slightly higher compared to poll results in June, where only 29% of families have considered themselves as borderline poor, while 23% said they were not poor. Based on the recent SWS survey, the 3-point decrease in self-rated poor in the third quarter of 2021 was due to a sharp decline in the Visayas and a slight decrease in Metro Manila, offset by a steady score in Balanced Luzon and an increase in Mindanao. Compared to a poll last June, Filipinos who rated themselves as poor fell in Visayas from 70% to 54%. Compared to June 2021, not poor hardly changed in all areas. It went from 7% to 4% in the Visayas, from 38% to 37% in Metro Manila, from 34% to 30% in Balanced Luzon, and from 7% to 8% in Mindanao. Detained Pharmally Pharmaceutical Corp executives Lincoln Ong and Mohit Dargani are expected to be transferred to Pasay City Jail today, the 29th of November, over their failure to submit the company's missing financial records to the Senate Blue Ribbon Committee. Retired Major General Rene Samonte barred this Sunday after confirming that they have received a copy of the commitment order signed by Senate President Vicente Soto III, granting the request of the Senate panel to detain the company officials in the local jail over their refusal to cooperate with the committee's probe. Samonte said in a text message to reporters that they will be subjected to medical checkup and out processing and some admin process, including coordination and documentation with the Pasay City Jail, and is expected to be transferred around lunchtime tomorrow. The Senate committee has launched a series of investigations into the government's alleged anomalous procurement of overpriced COVID-19 supplies. At the center of the controversy is Pharmally, a small firm that bagged the biggest contracts despite being months old and having a paid-up capital of only 625,000 pesos. During Friday's hearing, senators moved to transfer the two officials in the Pasay City Jail after insisting that they do not know the whereabouts of the boxes containing the firm's financial statements. Their transfer, however, was put on hold after they disclosed 3 potential locations on its whereabouts on Saturday. But the said operation was fruitless, Samonte later said, prompting him to recommend their immediate transfer to the local city jail. He told Senator Richard Gordon that it seems like there were no boxes and boxes of documents, or if any, they have no intention of submitting it. I recommend to continue the transfer ASAP. Gordon, for his part, lambasted the continuous lies of the Pharmally executives and said they will be put under the custody of the congested Pasay City Jail. He said in a video message posted on his Facebook page, it seems like they're still lying. They rob public funds and yet they continue to lie. Maybe they thought that the Senate was not serious, that they will put them in jail if they will lie and not fulfill their promise. Tribune News on Cue will be back after these reminders.
Boto mo to.
Manong Joe po.
2022, The Daily Tribune Special Coverage.
Chris masaya, pagsama-sama.
Bong, yung naumpisahan ko, tapusin mo. Mga bagong highway, tulay, tren, dapat ma-enjoy na kaagad ng mga tao yan. Kailangan lahat bakunado at laging may ayuda pag kailangan. Huwag dapat makabalik ang mga drug lords para ligtas ang pamilya. Yung ginawa mong malasakit centers, maganda yan. Padamihin mo pa. Magkasama tayo. Tayo ang nagsimula, tuloy-tuloy lang. Bong.
We are back on Tribune News on Q. Gokongwei-led Cebu Pacific said it is on track to have an all-new engine option or NEO fleet by 2027 after it received its first Airbus A330 NEO on Sunday. In an email statement, CebuPac said the new Airbus paves the way for it to become the greenest airline in Asia. The airline's newest aircraft features 459 lightweight Recaro seats, ergonomically designed for comfort over long distances. This also allows more travelers to be carried in a single flight, resulting in the lowest carbon footprint per passenger, making Ceb the greenest airline in Asia. Alex Reyes, Chief Strategy Officer at Cebu Pacific, mentioned that the Cebu Pacific's first A330 NEO brings us closer to our target of having an all-NEO fleet by 2027 and shows our commitment to making air travel accessible while ensuring environmental and social sustainability. They believe that growth and sustainability are not mutually exclusive and should in fact be inclusive if they want to work toward the greater good. Reyes added that this is the reason why they will always choose the greener options, increase aircraft efficiency, reduce noise and carbon emissions, to ensure that more low fares will be available for everyone. With the A330 NEO's latest technologies, this eco-plane uses 25% less fuel than previous generation aircraft, able to consume as little as 1.4 liters per seat per 100 kilometers, thus burning less fuel and emitting less carbon. The efficiency of the A330 NEO also ensures compliance with the current and future sustainability requirements in terms of noise and emissions, providing passengers with the utmost comfort in one of the quietest planes developed. As one of the world's youngest fleets, Ceb's newest aircraft is set to enter service next month to fly to various destinations across Ceb's international and domestic network. Ceb operates the widest domestic network in the Philippines, covering 33 destinations on top of its 12 international destinations. Its 73-strong fleet includes 2 dedicated ATR fighters. The city of Mandaue was adjudged the second most bicycle-friendly city in the country in the recent Mobility Awards 2021. Mandaue shared the silver with Naga City, while Iloilo City received the gold. A total of 30 cities were nominated for the honor. Lawyer John Edu Ibanez, Executive Secretary of Mandaue City, Mayor Jonas Cortez, said they were surprised with the recognition as the city did not send an entry to the contest. However, an anonymous individual sent in a nomination for Mandaue's inclusion. Ibanez said the city created a route plan for the implementation of bicycle lanes and the installation of bike repair stations in different locations to ensure the safety of the bikers traveling around Mandaue. The city has 4 bike repair stations located at Barangay Centro behind Mandaue City Hall, Barangay Hagobiao outside Park Mall, and at J Center Mall. This is aside from privately owned bike repair stations. These stations have air pumps for flat tires, bike racks, and tools. The Mobility Awards organized by the Institute for Climate and Sustainable Cities, MNL Moves, the Climate Reality Project Philippines, 350.org Filipinas, and Pinoy Bike Commuter Community, inspires action, involvement, and coordination among local government units, workplaces, and establishments who want to improve conditions for urban mobility. Jaja Santiago and the Saitama Ageo Medics picked up their second straight win in the Japan B-League after sweeping the Toyota Body Auto Queen 6, 25-21, 25-21, 25-23 at the Kawagoe Sports Park General Gymnasium in Kawagoe Sunday. Santiago had 7 points as the Ageo Medics improved to a 7-5 win-loss record. Over in Iota, Brian Bagunas and the Iota Miyoshi Weisi Adler bowed to JT Thunders 16-25, 17-25, 15-25 at the Showa Denko Martial Arts Sports Center. Bagunas only had 3 attack points and 2 kill blocks as the YC Adler absorbed their 10th loss of the season. In men's play, the Torii Arrow swept Mark Espejo and FC Tokyo 25-13, 25-21, 25-20 at the Kusunagi Sports Complex Gymnasium in Shizuoka. Espejo produced only 3 attack points as FC Tokyo dropped to a 3-9 card. Tribune News on Q will be back. Stay with us.
Botomoto Halalan 2022, the Daily Tribune special coverage.
Chris masaya, pagsama-sama. Katribu, hanap mo ba ay food to satisfy your cravings? Essential products o ano paman? Sagot ka namin dito sa tindahan ni Tarsi. Halina't tuklasin, kilalanin at alamin ang kwento sa likod ng iba't ibang produkto at negosyo mula sa ating Pinoy local entrepreneurs na tiyak papatok sa'yo. Samahan natin si Tarsi simula November 16 na mapapanood sa programang gising na mula alas 8 hanggang alas 9 ng umaga sa Facebook page ng Daily Tribune at Tribune Now on YouTube.
Botomoto Halalan 2022, the Daily Tribune special coverage.
Chris masaya, pagsama-sama.
You're still watching Tribune News on Q. Germany on Saturday identified the country's first suspected case of the new COVID-19 variant in a person who returned from South Africa. Kai Klose, Social Affairs Minister in the western state of Hesse, tweeted that the Omicron variant has with strong likelihood already arrived in Germany, which first detected in South Africa. Klose said that tests late Friday on the traveler revealed several mutations typical of Omicron. Although there are strong suspicion, Klose guaranteed that the person has been isolated at home and the full sequencing is still to be completed. His ministry later said results were expected in the coming days. The person had arrived in Germany on the 21st of November at Frankfurt International Airport, the country's busiest, the ministry said in a statement. The person who was fully vaccinated against coronavirus developed symptoms in the course of the week and was then tested. German Finance Minister Olaf Scholz, who is expected to be sworn in as a successor to Chancellor Angela Merkel early next month, stressed Saturday that his coalition would do everything necessary to fight Corona and Omicron. The suspect case in Germany follows Belgium, saying on Friday it had detected the first announced case in Europe of the new COVID-19 variant in an unvaccinated person returning from abroad. Meanwhile, Britain on Saturday confirmed its first 2 cases of the new Omicron strain, which the World Health Organization has declared to be a variant of concern. That wraps up the stories this morning. Before we go, we would like to thank the following: Mary Kay, the SM Store, the Department of Tourism, Araneta City, MG Motors, Haina Motors, Security Bank, and Overseas Community Affairs Council member Alan Lin of Republic of China for their continued support. Again, this is Kim Sancha on Tribune News on Q, reminding that we only have 26 days until Christmas. Stay safe, stay healthy, and stay at home. Good morning.
Catch the latest news on our website, tribune.net.ph. Follow us on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. Subscribe to our YouTube channel, Tribune Now. Download the Daily Tribune app on Apple Store for iOS and Google Play for Android to get the latest and most comprehensive news online. Daily Tribune invites you to join its Viber community, Katribu, to get updates on the hottest news on politics, business, sports, lifestyle, and entertainment. Emoticons of the Tribune mascot Tarsito are available on our community Viber.